Monique, salute. My bad. My bad. Appreciate that, Asia. Yeah, it's gonna be a dope one. You know what I mean? Got a lot of questions to ask. Let's let him come on up in the building. Let's do that. Let's let him come on up in the building.
Let's get ready to rumble!
Us never them. Us never them. Us never them. Dark side lurking with a fake ones vanish. Shoot right back. Get my in the tightest. You chat reckless. Get clapped in the chat. Block. Bless it up. Us never them. We don't switch the script. Dark side biz with a scared clip. China brim. Harlem legend. Platinum shine. All my supporters got a gang. Man, that shit a game. I just spin the block. My content live them tight, feeling lame. Hip-hop news, more like hop L shit. I just doubted one, now we singing bell. Rock move funny, but they feet still stuck. 050 bucks, Mr. Shoot right back. Us. Yeah. 050 bucks, Mr. Shoot right back. Mr. Shoot right back. Never them, never them, never them, never them. Yeah. Us never them. Never them, us never them. Dark side, where the fake get exposed. It'll shoot right back. Us never them. Yeah. Yo, to my supporters, y'all realest ones. this ain't no fun. Gang, 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 gang. Shout out, China brim, 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 shout out Harlem legend. Platinum shine, shine, shine to all my supporters. Yeah, I'm part of the team. Gang, 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 man, that shit a game. I just spin the block, my content. Live, I'm tight, feeling lame. More like hip hop L's. Ops, boom. Shoot right back. Us, never them, and never them. Miss me with the fake ish.
I'm about to be on some real content creating shit, B. Any nigga that ever came to my page and didn't give me no likes, didn't follow, didn't comment, or reshare any of my shit, is fucking blocked to me, B. You understand what the fuck I'm telling you right now? They're fucking blocked. I'm telling you, B. I feel naked out here, son. I don't know what to create. I don't know what to post. I want to leave the Instagram streets. But if I leave, all my followers still gonna love me, B.
Man, if you don't get your ass out my goddamn Uber, what the hell is wrong with you?
Salute everybody in the building. Just wanted to wish your name quick intermission. As y'all go, subscribe, share, and like. Make sure y'all go to my community wall, which is the post, and check out my merch. I have some dope merch. You know, appreciate everybody who supported. I mean, everybody. You dig? We still rolling. We still rocking. Salute to my guy, Renegade Society Production. We still in the building. Go show some love.
Come on, Crust. It's your inner beauty that really counts. Wow. Rude. I just mean the good. Us never them. Us never them. Us never them. Dark side learning. With fake ones vanish. Shoot right back. Yeah, my aim the tightest. If you chat reckless, get cacked in the chat. Perfect Christian. Flash never M. We don't switch the script. Dark side biz. With off get clip. Boom. China brim. Harlem legend. Platinum shine. All support y'all on the team. Gang. Man, that's a game. I just spin the block. My content. Live them tight. Feeling lame. Pop news. More like hip hop L's. I just died at one. Now we singing bells. Hawks move funny, but they still stuck. 050 bucks, Mr. Shoot right back. Us never them. Miss me with the talk. I don't suggestion. Dark side biz. Let us say all the what we bring it on. Dark side season, where the snakes get peeled. Loyalty to code, but the get exposed. I'm the truth and fact. Cross that line, but we bringing all facts. Us never them. We don't switch the script. Dark side biz. Yellow punch the team. Gang. Minds flow with it punches. They be talking tough, but they moving fear. I just pop a top, let the truth appear. Man, that shit a joke. I just flip the scene, leave them in a choke. Dark side. Us never them. Us never them. 050 bucks, Mr. Shoot right back. Dark side general, where the lanes get packed. All my supporters, got a realest one. Without y'all, this ain't fun. Silence. Us never them. 050 bucks to shoot right back. Dark side general, where the lanes get packed. All my supporters, y'all the realest ones. Without y'all, this ain't fun. Silence.
That's a whole fact. Make sure y'all go holla at your boy. Show some love. Uncle Ralph, salute. Appreciate the pull up. Top shot, salute. Appreciate the pull up. Yes, sir. Y'all make sure y'all go check that merch out, man. You know what I mean? Go check that merch out. Support is free. You know what I mean? Holla at your boy, man. You dig? You know, in the near future, you know what I mean? In the near future, you dig? Make sure y'all help me help my supporters, so we could throw some shows or something like that, and we can give some stand on law merch out, stand on law giveaway. You know what I mean? Like, let's have some fun with it. You know what I mean? Like, stop being so uptight. You know what I mean? I'm here to get a bag. You know what I mean? At the same time, have some fun with my people and grow with some of y'all that, that's really dope people. You know what I mean? Let's not mess that up. You dig? Yeah, let's not mess that up. So, you know what I mean? With that being said, yeah, hold on, Top Shot. I'm dropping in a second. Hold on. Yeah, so, with that being said, you know what I'm saying? I see the thumbnail. This today's show is sponsored by Stand on Law, UNT Network. You understand me? So you just get right into it, though, people. Like, I'm starting to see a lot of these tough guys going out like bozos. Butterfly salute. Just going out like bozos. I'm going to keep it a million. They going out like bozos, man. Like real talk. A lot of these tough guys is going out like bozos. I'm talking about when they don't even got to. They resume is kind of high. And they still running around trying to put their resume on an extra large. Nah, we can't be doing that. We can't be doing that, especially when you got somebody like myself that'd be like, yo, I jack old boy. Yo, I rock with old boy. Then they turn around. You did? Yeah, Top Shot. Yeah, pause. No Roski. No Shantae. And my man Artie voice. No rainbows. So when we get to talking like that, people, right? And we say, what do they have to gain when they sit there? Let's use a prime example. We had a guy come up, right? I seen this on somebody's show. I don't know whose show it was, right? But I seen it on the show. And I seen a lot of people rebuttal, they debunking it. And this person I'm talking about is Pistol Pete from the Terror Squad. Never been around him. I don't know him. He repped the X. That's what's up. In the passing, stories and things of that nature, nothing bad about his name. Nothing bad. But then something just didn't sit right when you hear the story. It just don't sit right. So I went and listened. I'm listening. And some things could be entertaining. You be like, oh, all right. But the weirdest thing ever is you have a lot, plethora of dudes that's on the YouTube streets that was in the building on the time of, or the time said of, he put this movie on. And guess what, people? The movie is It's believable, right? For a person like me. I've never been in Kawasaki. That's where it took place at. So I don't know how the yard is structured. I don't know none of that. I don't even know if they allow you to plant a flag, right, in front of a yard, or in the yard, middle of the yard, side of the yard. I don't know none of that. So as I'm intrigued. I'm like, yo, word, because I mean, it ain't like I didn't hear. He has a movement that went on behind the G wall, kill all rats, KAR. So you like, oh, why, then. It's kind of like you gotta pit on with holding that name. That name itself is a household name, Pistol Pete. Now, he's not the Afro-American Pistol Pete from Soundview. He's the Latino Pistol Pete, let's just say from the Bronx. They both from the Bronx. But that's how you will divide, determine who's who, right? So we're talking about Pistol Pete from KAR, Kill All Rats, who hangs with Terror Squad. Latino Pistol Pete, right? So, again, like I said, I'm listening. Story sounds like, oh, word. Because when you look at it, right, and I don't mean to get off the subject, but we have an example like with Blue Boy. Blue Boy had his story. Yeah, I such and such. And it's like, yo, hold on. You've been around like some stand-up guys. You see what I'm saying? But the difference with Blue Boy, Delvin, salute. Appreciate the pull-up, King. But when you listen to the Blue Boy story, you have none of these stand-up guys that was around him debunk his story. So it's a little different. So moving forward, I'm watching, I'm listening, I'm like, wow. This nigga ain't say he chopped up 2 or 3, more animals. You know what I'm saying? I was chasing some more animals around the yard. I clapped him on animal, he ran, boom, in front of police. I clapped him again, boom, picked the flag, boy. You know what I'm saying? Like, he said, all the blacks in the yard, people. I'm just being honest, and my man might get beef with. He said he chopped up all the blacks in the yard, planted his flag in the middle of the yard, and got busy. I mean, it's like, all right, you already a household name, dude. Why would you tarnish your reputation by putting out false allegations? Like, you don't have plethora of dudes on this website that can debunk your story. I'm confused. Oh, you Bobby Jones, you salute. I'm confused. Real talk. Y'all don't believe me? Give me a second. Give me a second if y'all don't believe me. I ain't got a lot to kick it, people. I ain't got a lot to kick it. I do not have the lie to kick it. So I'm gonna go to his story, right? Then I'm gonna slide to somebody else's story where they've been in the chat, right? And they said that'll never went down. You know what I mean? So I don't know why, the tough guys, they want to get extra with their reputation, and it's just like, be all right with the rep you got. You know, even if you just made a movie or two, you know, don't make it sound like you just was just Incredible Hulk. You know what I mean? And you just did what you wanted to do, and pretty much guys had to been scared of you. If you talking about you didn't get everybody in the yard dirty. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, yo, come on, man. Like, yo, really? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's no way that you could have told that story, right? And expected no one to debunk it. That's the ill-ish, people. That's a fact. When you expect no one to debunk that story, that been behind that same wall, that same jail, that you said you done did what you did. You made the movie that you talking about. So, you know, we don't know if it was one person, but again, you got these tough guys that'll put a story together, people, and they will have you thinking they ran the whole jail. That's a fact. They will have you thinking they ran the whole jail. You know what I mean? And that's the part and the reason why we at where we at today. Now, we can't take nothing from them. I know I can't. I'm not going to sit here and try to, oh, yeah, did this. No. I done heard some, some stories. Heard of one person, that you pretty much, had your altercation with. And it was a stand-up dude from what I'm hearing. And they said you bust a move. That's cool. That's cool. But when you start talking, you chopped up every black dude in the yard. I mean, come on, come on, my guy. Come on. Clout cannot be that serious. It cannot be that serious, people. Clout cannot be that serious. When you sitting there, right, and you talking about what you did to a bunch of black dudes, in your words, yeah, but that's in his words. He cut all the black people in the yard. That's a fact. And I'm trying to figure it out now, but I don't know why. It should have been right there because I just did my homework on it. Yeah, I just did my homework on it, man. So I don't even know why. It's not listening, but I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get to it this way though, because there's a lot going on. And I just want to. I want to just breeze through it. I don't want to give it too much energy. Too much time. I just want to just breeze through it. You dig? But I definitely want to bring it to the attention because, these are guys that we're talking about that was, I guess to be considered tough guys. You know what I mean? And when you you know, when you say, okay, you got a guy, you know, that's a stand-up dude, and you kind of you don't automatically buy into it, people, but you know, you kind of buy into it. You know what I mean? El Plaga TV, salute. Sexy J, salute. OG Bobby Johnson in the building. SRB Bobby is in the building. My bad. SRB OG Johnny is in the building. Yo, so we about to get into it. I'm going to let, you know, y'all gonna hear his take. You know, he talking about, you know what I'm saying, how he chopped up all the blacks. Now let's listen to the story and how he break it down to make himself seem bigger than what he is. That's if you ask me. That's what this is. You know what I mean? So, you know, pay attention.
And the only Spanish guys that I'm around was TS guys. right. Swear, they all black. So and we got TS black guys too, though. But my point to you is that that I you know, it's just the whole Kaksaki. You know, Kaksaki was like a blacks against the Spanish. You know, and it wasn't even like that. It's just in jail it becomes that. Yeah. People in jail, if for some reason it just becomes blacks and the Spanish, blacks against the Muslims against the Spanish, or the Muslims against the guard bodies, the Muslims against the Bloods, like that. So there was just one of the occasions when it was like the Spanish. A guy came from another jail. He had stabbed somebody else that I knew, and I just got to know this guy. But he's from the Bronx, straight up guy, cool guy. You know, amazing, stand-up guy, and he told me, yo, these guys over there was part of this, that they did to me in another jail. They tried to cut me and this, that. I was like, well, you want to feel like you got something, you want to give up your chest? He said, yeah, I want to cut that back. And I was like, all right, so you cut him. So he went back, boom, he cut the guy, and the guy was just not a regular guy in jail either. He was like one of the main guys, strong, and it was all from Brooklyn, and they turned it into a black thing, right. And it wasn't even like that, you know. And we was so. This is real exclusive, bro. I went and I told everybody that was in my unit, everybody that was black that I know, you know, like my, you know, guard bodies that I know. King Sean, yo, I can't stay in your cell. Yo, Muhammad, stay in your cell. Why you telling me to stay in my cell, pistol? Stay in your cell. You know, I said, all right, boom. So I told all my black friends, stay in the cell. We went out to the yard. Boom. The guys ran down on the guy that cut the other black kid. They all ran down on him, almost killed him, an inch away from his heart, took him to the hospital. Now the whole jail was closed. Now they opened the jail again, and I go back out there, and I say, okay, on this day, this is what we're going to do. This day, we're going to go out there, we're going to put the Puerto Rican flag in the middle of the flag, and we're going to stab everybody that's black. And I did that. I went out there and we did that. We put the flag out, I stabbed everybody. And the guy that was the main guy that was getting away, he was handcuffed, shackled, he was escorting him out. Yeah. And I ran down, chased the police down, backed them down, and cut him out in front of the police. Wow. And they took me to the cells.
All right. Okay. Now, grown man thoughts, salute my guys. I'm gonna touch on that. I'm gonna touch on that, grown man thoughts. I'm gonna touch on that, baby. That's my rebuttal. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna touch on that. You dig? I'm gonna touch on that. That's a fact. That's what made me, because I've been heard this. So I didn't want to debunk it if I didn't have nobody that was relevant that'll debunk it first. So, you know, but yeah, I'm on it. Grown man thoughts. How you, man? Yes, sir, I'm on it. So, he says, well, let's just start off with this. Does it sound weird like he's identifying his comrades as black? I know that's all, you know, he hang out with a lot of brothers, you know what I'm saying? I'm not at all throwing a race card out there. You know what I mean? But why black? You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just saying. Black. Oh, I told all my black friends to stay in the cell, so I go out here and blah, blah, blah. The guard bodies and the Muslims. Out of all people, the guard body and the Muslims. So you mean to tell me, speaking from the guard bodies and the Muslims' perspective, each and one of them friends that you had that was guard body and Muslim that day, you told them to lock in, and they hear your story, and they hear how you describe them. Yo, I told all my black friends to stay in their cell. What? So that right there was a red flag when the breakdown start breaking down. Now I'm like, hold on, wait a minute. Because I bought it. I'm not going to lie, people. I bought it. Just being honest with my man Mikey B voice. I bought it. Black Afghanistan salute. I bought it. Yo, Black Afghanistan, you heard about this, man? I know Black heard about Black be on this Bronx politics. You dig? So I bought it, people. I said, hold on, man. Like, he was popping like that? You know what I mean? So we move forward, right? We get through I told all my black friends or whatever, however, to stay in their cell, right? Sequoia salute, right? So I'm saying to myself, right? You over that hurdle. He must have been Papino. Oh man. Hey, OG, don't you hey, hold on, wait a minute. Hold on, jail talk on the streets makes them sound crazy. It's way different out here. Yeah, that's a fact, Uncle Ralph. Yeah, that's a whole fact. It's definitely way different. Messy. He be over there. He be over there lying. Yeah, you already know how Shantae is, man. Yeah, I ain't right. G Max, salute my guys. Appreciate the pull up. That's a fact. Yeah. So once I jet by that, you know what I mean, and I say, all right, you know how that politics go. You know, that's my man, blah, blah, blah. So it may have not went down like how he's saying it. Yo, so all my blacks stay in the cell while I go out and I go pop on blacks. Now, mind you, the only two organizations he pretty much named, Rob, salute. Yeah, that's a fact. Go Knicks, Rob. Always. It's going to always be go Knicks. So, you know, the people that he named, Muslims and God bodies, them be the ones you'll look at and you be like, hold on, wait a minute. Like, at the end of the day, if anybody but a dead body, you have righteous mind thinkers, and you like, yo, I told all my blacks. But anyway, so he chops it up with his guy. Then he goes out to the yard. Why am I telling the story? Let him tell the story.
It took me to the showers and put the beats on and smacked me so hard because I had to raise my mouth. I got away with it. And the police was looking at me in the tower and they turned me around. And I was like, yeah, it's time to spit it. And I was like, damn, the fuck, he started his mouth. He got his mouth. And they took me to the thing and they were like, take out your bounce, knocking me back. And for the first time in my life, I almost swallowed them. I thought about swallowing them.
You say these teachers, you're making smart financial decisions.
And I got this stuff here.
Yeah, holy.
And it's hanging from the razor got stuck on my so I was smacking it. And then I spit the razor fire out. They took me to the box. And they took me to the box and then they put me around. And the one side of his wings is like wings like that. You know, like a cross. Yeah. And I was on one wing with all the enemies. And they were like, yo, you coming out tomorrow, right? They're like, oh, people, what's up? You know, you with us, right? You gonna come out tomorrow? You know, tomorrow, we got y'all tomorrow, right? And I'm like, yeah, we got y'all tomorrow. Yeah, we got y'all tomorrow. So the guy across from me, seeing what's going on across from me, I could see his cell. He could see his little thing. He was Dominican. He was like, and I was like, that's something for you. Yeah. And I shot my line at night. And I got the razor. And I was like, yeah, I'm coming out tomorrow. And then my other man, which is another guy that I met through problems,
See, that's what I'm saying, people. You make yourself. Can we deal with reality for a minute, people? Let's just be light. 20-man cell. Not 20-man cell, pardon me. 20 cells, including him. Let's say 15 cells is like, yeah, come outside, come to wreck, Pete, blah, blah, blah. He's a gangster. Yeah, all right. He ain't got no so he ain't doing nothing. Yeah, I'm going to fall back. Right? His man hits him in Spanish. Yo, you need something? I got you. Blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, here go Pete. Yeah, all right, boom. So, yeah, my man hit me off. He gave it to me at nighttime. Nobody could see it. Pass off. Boom, we got the pass off. Now niggas talking about, yo, come out to the yard. Now you macho. Yeah, hell yeah, I'm coming out to the yard. Blah, blah, blah. Let him finish, please. Please. Please, let him finish. Then we gonna drop this link so we gotta have fun with this bozo.
Almost. And he became one of my friends. He was a big black. I can't tell you his name. He's no big, strong in jail. He was in the bottom stage. And he asked. He was one guy. He had a homework. He was in a hole.
Again, why is it the black? The big black. What's up with the big black? I know you ain't racist. We're not even speaking on a racist term. We just speaking on the terminologies at this point. What's the deal with the big black situation? But anyway.
He was like, yo, that's you, Pete. And I'm like, yeah. He said, yo, what's up with y'all? I'm going to do something. It better be whatever it's going to be, but it's going to be fair. And he's like, yeah, it's going to be fair. And he's taking up for me. He's like, yeah, you already know. Well, whoever fall on this way, you already know what it is. Because he's pop on too. He busts his nuts too. Wow. So he's like, and I'm like, yeah, I'll be outside tomorrow. And that's why I put the razor on my, and how you put a razor? I just put this back, I put the razor over my thing like that, and hoping that the police don't go like this again. Could they be doing that? Right. And he just passed the blade, going like that. Yeah. Oh, and I came out with the razor. Got it through. Got it through. So someone got cut? Nah, they rushed us before they got crazy. They got me at the. God, they let me go though. It almost popped off. Yeah. It wasn't seen in the door. It was like, no, you're not supposed to be in the cage.
All right. That is the chaos of state. I want to go back to the point of the matter, right? Of the whole yard incident. Then I'm gonna recap something else where they debunking his story. That's the motive for the day, people.
It was right that it's funny because to this day a lot of brothers look at me and they be like, but it's true. Like, in jail you can have. I'm raised with a bunch of brothers, black brothers, right? I have Spanish friends, but I'm around black people mostly all the time. Okay. So that's how boy George was. Yeah. So and the only Spanish guy that I'm around was TS guys. Yeah, right. So if we got TS black guys too, but my point to you is that it's just the whole Kaksaki. Kaksaki was. It was like the blacks against the Spanish, and it wasn't even like that. It's just in jail it becomes that. Yeah. People in jail, for some reason, it just becomes blacks and the Spanish, blacks against the Muslims against the Spanish, or the Muslims against the guard bodies, the Muslims against the Bloods, like that. So there was this one of the occasions when it was like the Spanish. A guy came from another jail. He had stabbed somebody else that I knew, and I just got to know this guy. But he's from the Bronx, straight up guy, cool guy. Amazing stand-up guy, and he told me, yo, these guys over there was part of that they did to me in another jail. He tried to cut me in this, that. I was like, well, you want to feel like you got something, you want to give up your chest? He said, yeah, I want to cut that back. And I was like, all right, so we cut him. So he went back, he cut the guy, and then the guy was just not a regular guy in jail either. He was like one of the main guys, strong, and it was all from Brooklyn, and they turned him into a black thing. Right. And it wasn't even like that, so this is real exclusive, bro. I went and I told everybody that was in my unit, everybody that was black that I know, like my guard bodies that I know. Hey, Sean, yo, lock in, stay in your cell. Yo, Muhammad, stay in your cell. Wait, somebody stay in my cell, pistol. Stay in your cell. And I said, all right, boom. So I told all my black friends, stay in the cell. We went out to the yard. Boom. The guys ran down on the guy that cut the other black kid. They all ran down on him, almost killed him, inch away from his heart, took him to the hospital. Now the whole jail was closed. Now they opened the jail again. Then I go back out there, and then I said, okay, on this day, this is what we're going to do. This day we're going to go out there, we're going to put the Puerto Rican flag in the middle of the flag, and we're going to stab everybody that's black. And I did that one thing. We did that. We put the flag out that day. But and the guy that was the main guy that was getting away, he was handcuffed, shackled. He was escorting him out. And I ran down, chased the police down, backed them down, and cut him in front of the police. And they took me to the cells. They took me to the showers and put the beats out. They smacked me so hard because I had to raise my mouth. I got away with it. I got away with it. And the police was looking at me from the tower.
Stop it, Five. Do y'all need to hear that again? That was a movie. That was a movie.
Kasaki down. What does that mean? It means that I shut the jail down. It was a riot where it was a riot that it's funny because
Can you tell us about the riot where your teeth got knocked out?
That's one of the riots. I've been in 2 riots. I was in South Pole riot. I've been in Kasaki riot. I closed Kasaki down.
What does that mean?
It means that I shut the jail down. It was a riot where it was a riot that it's funny because to this day a lot of brothers look at me and they be like, but it's true. Like in jail you can have. I'm raised with a bunch of brothers, a bunch of black brothers, right? I have Spanish friends, but I'm around black people mostly all the time.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. All right. Now we're gonna get to the debunking stage, man. We heard enough for him. He shut the jail down, blah, 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 blah. Blah, blah, blah. So, as you being a stand-up dude, right? And what you say, you stand on, right? It's a whole fact. But then it's when you speak, right? And you ain't speaking where your story don't got to get questioned. Now, this is where being tough just goes all the way left, right? All right, we're about to get into it.
You know what I'm saying? He was in Kasaki and he yo, rise and shine, people. It's your boy M16. Got my boy Wild Bill here again. You know what I'm saying? We back with another video. I know it's been a minute. We had a lot of business and stuff like that going on. But we back and we got something real interesting to talk about today. You know what I mean? Say what up to them, Bill.
What's up? It's Wild Bill back in the building. Been a minute, been busy, everyday life, just living, taking care of the family, the kids, trying to get focused, working. There's a lot going on. And my life is getting hot, but we want to get into this Pistol P situation. Not sex, money, murder Pistol P, but the Spanish terror squad Pistol P.
Fat Joe Pistol P. Yeah, we're going to get into that. Fat Joe Pistol P. We got a video out there where he's talking about how, he was in Kasaki and he put a Puerto Rican flag in the middle of the yard and cut all black people that was out there and everything like that. It just sounds crazy.
But not to cut you on, first of all, he said he put a flag in the middle of the yard. Let me break down how Kasaki set up. Kasaki is a building. It's a square building. It got like a center yard, right? A courtyard type setting. And the floor is blacktop. So you're not putting nothing in no goddamn ground in Kasaki yard. That's 1. 2, you can't even have no Puerto Rican.
Okay. So now, that's one lie we caught him in. I'm just being honest. And my man Mikey B voice. That's just one lie we caught him in, people. Right? It's one. No matter how your flag is, that's not happening. Right? Then the second one is, I guess through gang affiliation, they said you couldn't wear blue, and blue was on a Puerto Rican flag. So that's one that we know. All right, that was a lie. And my man, what's his name? My man, is that Jerry Springer or Maury? The Maury joint. Well, that was a lie. But let's keep listening.
That's 1. 2, you can't even have no Puerto Rican flags because it comes blue and ain't no blue allowed in the flag. allowed in the jail. So you're not having that. That's not happening. You know what I'm saying? So that's cap right there. Now I don't know Pistol P personally. I know who he is. And I'm not saying he's not a busy dude. He don't bust his gun, none of that. But what I'm saying is what he's talking about, what he did in Kasaki, that's like impossible.
Yeah.
Impossible.
The whole story sounds suspect. Like he said, how he told all his black friends to stay in. He told them to stay in.
Yeah, see, so even with that, like I was just saying, See, you got a guy like this who was relevant behind the wall, right? That never seen him, walk by him, know nothing. But just know, he'd go off. So now, when you listening to a guy who can identify that whole situation Pistol Pete is talking about, and he could debunk it, like I just said earlier, people, how you okay with being a tough guy, but then you come up on social media and you tell a story that's false. At this point, you didn't even ad-lib your story. At this point, I'm just being honest. At this point, like, the whole story is a cap. Why? Just listen.
Told him to stay in because he knew he was about to go out there. He said he had a friend who had cut somebody and they was on him. So because they was on his friend, they almost killed his friend. He told all his black friends to stay in while he go ahead and cut every other black person on the yard. It just didn't say. Like, if you do that, first of all, and then he said he cut somebody right in front of the police. That was that possible. It's not going down. First of all, Cat Sack, I don't know when he said this shit went down there, but I know for sure. Yeah, I was in Cat Sack. I was in Brooklyn. Always been deep Cat Sack. You got Bronx. KD, they whole way. Brooklyn always had numbers for some reason. This is a big bubble. But now, on the say, he cut somebody in front of the police. First of all, when I was in there, the Chase brothers that had that landing center, y'all hope on them. The officers that's in front of the unit, they can open the doors and look. If you got doors all around, that you can go in different sections in the center, y'all to go inside the housing unit. Because like I said, it's a courtyard, they got doors all around. So you open up these doors over there, take your A and B. You open up these doors over there, take your B and C. Like I said, it's a courtyard with multiple doors. You're not going in there, stabbing up everybody. Now, he might have cut somebody, got into a scuffle, cut 1, 2, 3, but you're not doing it. You're not running around stabbing on blacks or stabbing all anything in that yard. And first of all, most of the people in there, in Cat Sack, that's an adolescent penitentiary. And you know how the adolescents get down. It was wild at the Micah's Island coming up. So you got all the high heads that's in Cat Sack. So most of the dudes in the jail were working already. Whether it was in the street, whether it was on the island, whether it was up north, because that's like somewhat addition of jail at the same time. So they ain't too many sucking niggas in Cat Sack. So you produce, when you tell anybody, oh, I'm gonna cut all the black niggas, don't look at you better, cut who? Right. Cut what? My cousin's out there. Why can't I talk my block? You cut them all through. They would have killed them in that yard. You know what I'm saying? They would have killed him in that yard. He wasn't there. How you a riot's going on? Where do they get the time to shackle somebody up in the yard and take him out where that yard ain't under control? Everybody on the floor laying down. And you're going to pop up and you're going to chase somebody down that shackle. They would shot you from the top. Yeah, for sure. They would shut that whole floor down first of all before they even brought anybody out. So he wouldn't have been able to just run up and cut somebody while he was locked up, like while he was in cuffs. No, that's what happened. Yeah. They're going to make sure they got full control before they people come in there. He's going to have to do it on the roof because that's the towers on the roof. Yeah. It ain't no tower, it's a roof, and they got no offices on top of the roof and all four corners that they be in. And it's not that big, so I can shoot from the roof and hit somebody dead on. So, and them dudes is rifle association, clubs and all that. They've been shooting. Them white people, they've been shooting. They're not shooting. They're not letting you burn around that yard without putting you down. Not only that, Bill. Talk about how, like, people be waiting to wreck. And just telling everybody, nah, stay in your cell when they open up yourself for wreck. Nah, that's the way that's set up. Like, dudes ain't about in their cell. Yeah, they waiting to come outside. They wreck. Dudes is in playground all day. Morning, afternoon, so you tell me to stay in. I can't go to wreck like every day and night. You got inside wreck one night, and then the next night you got outside wreck, and then it's like you know they wreck just so you could, just because you said you ain't even tell them why. It'd be maybe one day if you told them, yo, don't worry about it, I'm gonna hold you down, whatever the case may be. I don't want you to get into nothing, I don't want you to get shot, nothing like that. But for you to just say, yo, everybody lock in. I gotta handle something on the yard. That's a little far-fetched. I'm sorry.
See? So again, people, it's when being tough goes wrong. Because you got people that can identify that whole situation. Then one key thing that was said in that live, right? It's possible for you not to be there and you have heard of other movies. Like me personally, I heard of other movies and I've never been there. But I pretty much know who danced and shook the room. I know who put it on the scoreboard. And I don't know why I never thought, like, hey, yo, homie, why you ain't never hear about this movie? But especially me being from the X, he repping the X. I mean, you're gonna bump into somebody that's gonna tell that same exact story. No one tells the story. No one tells the story, man. So how can we believe what comes out your mouth at this point? You see, because let me tell you something too with these tough guys, right? A lot of these tough guys, right? They will take one movie, little scratch, and they act like they were in Hollywood. That's a fact. One scratch, no. Oh yeah, now I'm the big bad. Hey yo, Black Danistan, that's what he said. City Bama salute. Hey yo, Black, that's what he said.
That's one of the rides. I've been in 2 rides. I was in Southport ride. I've been in Kasaki ride. I closed Kasaki down. What does that mean? It means I shut the jail down. It was a ride where it was a ride that it's funny because it's to the day. A lot of brothers look at me and but it's true. Like in jail, I'm raised with a bunch of brothers, black, right? I have Spanish friends, but I'm around black people mostly all the time. Okay. So and that's boy Jordan. Yeah. So and only Spanish guys I'm around was TS guys. right. So if you got TS black guys, but my point is that it's just the whole Kasaki. Kasaki was. It was like the blacks against the Spanish, and it wasn't even like that. It's just in jail, it becomes that. Yeah. People in jail, for some reason, it just becomes blacks and Spanish, blacks against the Muslims against the Spanish, or the Muslims against the Garbage, the Muslims against the Bloods, like that. So there was this one occasion when it was like the Spanish, the guy came from another jail, he had stabbed somebody else that I knew, and I just got to know this guy, but he's from the Bronx, straight up guy, cool guy, amazing stand-up guy, and he told me, these guys over there was part of that they did to me in another jail, they tried to cut me in. This guy, I was like, well, you want to feel like you got something, you want to give up to justice? Yeah, I want to cut that, go back. And I was like, all right, so we cut him. So he went back, he cut the guy, and then the guy was not a regular guy in jail either. He was like one of the main guys, strong, and it was over Brooklyn, and they turned him into a black thing, right? And it wasn't even like that, so this is real exclusive, bro. I went and I told everybody that was in my unit, everybody that was black that I know, like my guard bodies that I know, okay, Sean, I can stay in cell, Muhammad, stay in cell, wait till you stay in my cell, pistol, stay in cell. And I was like, all right, so I told all my black friends, stay in the cell, we went out to the yard, boom, the guys ran down on the guy that cut the other black kid, they all ran down on him, almost killed him, an inch away from his heart, took him to the hospital, now the whole jail was closed, now they opened the jail again, and I go back out there, and I said, okay, on this date, this is what we're gonna do, this day we're gonna go out there, we're gonna put the Puerto Rican flag in the middle of the flag, and we're gonna stab everybody that's black, and I did that, and when I did that, I put the flag out, I stabbed everybody, and the guy that was the main guy was getting away, he was handcuffed, shackled, he was stolen out, and I ran down, chased the police down, back down, come out in front of the police, and it took me.
So, he said he accomplished that. Wax AP salute. He said he accomplished that. I'm about to drop the link in a minute, people. But he said he accomplished that. He clearly said out of his mouth. He planned it out. Yo, listen. We going back in the yard. We about to go pop. I'm planting the Puerto Rican flag. And it is going to be what it is. Now, for somebody ain't never been in Kasaki, I ain't never been in Kasaki. So I can't debunk the story. But I did ran across a situation where somebody that was in Kasaki, they can debunk the story. You understand what I'm saying? And it's like, wow. Why be already a household name? You're already a household name. Why would you put this kind of buffoonery on your jacket? Come on. And come on, man. And you repping the ghost? Come on. We don't do that. We don't do that. But listen how someone debunked the story. See, this is what I'm saying. A tough guy, they ain't gonna quit. Yo, listen. Nah, man. Listen to how the story get debunked.
That's how he put a Puerto Rican flag in the middle of the yard and cut all black people that was out there and everything like that. It just sounds crazy.
Well, not to cut you off. First of all, he said he put a flag in the middle of the yard. Let me break down how Kasaki set up. Kasaki is a building. It's a square building. It got like a center yard, right? A courtyard type setting. And the floor is blacktop. So you're not putting nothing in no goddamn ground in Kasaki yard. That's one. Two, you can't even handle Puerto Rican flags because it comes bullet and ain't no blue allowed in the flag. I mean, allowed in the jail. So you're not having that. That's not happening. You know what I'm saying? So that's cap right there. You know, now I don't know Bishop P personally, you know, I know who he is, you know, and I'm not saying he's not a busy dude. He don't bust his gun, none of that. But what I'm saying is what he's talking about, what he did in Kasaki, that's like impossible.
Yeah.
Impossible.
The whole story sounds suspect. Like he said how he told all his black friends to stay in. He told them to stay in because he knew he was about to go out there. He said he had a friend who had cut somebody and it was on him. So because they was on his friend, they almost killed his friend. He told all his black friends to stay in while he go ahead and cut every other black person on the yard. It just didn't sound right. Like if you do that, first of all, and then he said he cut somebody right in front of the police. Was that possible?
It's not going down. Let me tell you. First of all, Kasaki, I don't know what year he said this shit went down there, but I know for sure the year I was in Kasaki. You know, I was in, and Brooklyn always been deep in Kasaki. You know, you got Bronx, you know, they deep, they hold weight. Brooklyn always had numbers for some reason, you know, because it's a bigger borough. But now for him to say he cut somebody in front of the police. First of all, when I was in there, the Chase brothers, that had that Randall Center, y'all hope on them, the officers that's in front of the unit, they can open the doors and look, they got doors all around. That you go in different sections in the center, y'all go inside the housing unit. Because like I said, it's a courtyard, they got doors all around. So you open these doors over there, take your A and B, you open these doors over there, take your B and C. Like I said, it's a courtyard, you're not going in there, stabbing up everybody. Now he might have cut somebody, got into a scuffle, cut 1, 2 dudes, but you're not doing it. You're not running around, stabbing up, blasting, stabbing, or anything in that yard. And first of all, most of the people in there, in Kasaki, that's an adolescent penitentiary. And you know how the adolescents get down. They was wild when Mike is Island coming up. So you got all the hot heads that's in Kasaki. So most of the dudes in the jail were working already. Right. You know, whether it's in the street, whether it's on the island, whether it's up north, because that's like somewhat addition of the jail at the same time. So they two really sucking niggas in Kasaki. So when you tell anybody, oh, I'm cutting all black, niggas gonna look at you like, oh, cut who? Right. Cut what? My cousins out there. Why got my black?
Now, see, that's something I ain't know. So that's another blemish. I could see if the individual would have said, yo, listen, he was in a jail where dudes wasn't popping off like that. Wasn't no motion. Wasn't nothing going down. But when he said this jail was a disciplinary jail, meaning that a lot of the dudes, 80% of the dudes that's there is violent. And not only to speak, it's like an adolescent prison. So while he was running around chopping blacks, you mean to tell me ain't nobody bust a move? Yo, listen. I never heard that story being like, you know, people that they talk about, one of the wildest movies, that a nigga heard about on the island, or maybe that they seen on the island. I never heard that story. I'm just being honest in my man Mikey B voice. I never heard that story. I never heard that story. Not near nobody told me no story like that. Not a near nutter. That's a fact, Powder. Not a near nutter, Powder, told me that Pistol P, representing KAR, representing Terror Squad, went in the yard in Kasaki, planted his flag, and cut every black dude in the yard. Yo, somebody got to make some sense of this. Somebody got to make some sense of this. But mob on that like button, man, please. Mob on that like button. Share this live. Because people need to hear this. Subscribe to the channel if you never, if you have, salute. Showed you my merch. Go to the community wall, check my merch out, and go to the notification bell and hit all. So you get all my notifications. You will be notified every time that I do something dealing with YouTube. Via short, video, or new merch dropping. It's a fact. So, again, it's sad when you already got like the popularity and all that, and you just overkill. Now everybody's going to be looking at your story like, hold up, you may have to Google this. Because it's a difference, people, when you, yo, listen, all right, copy, cool, yeah, solidified. Now, people start searching, and they come back with this kind of information.
Yo, rise and shine, people. Sweat, shit, family and kids. Don't you focus, working. Black people that was out there, everything like that. It just sounds crazy. But let's catch you on. First of all, he said he put a flag in the middle. Let me break down how Kasaki set up. Kasaki is a building. It's a split building. It got like a center yard, right? So a courtyard type setting. And the floor is blacktop. So you're not putting nothing in no goddamn ground in Kasaki yard. That's one. Two, you can't even have no Puerto Rican flags because the color's blue and ain't no blue allowed in the flag. I mean, allowed in the jail. So you're not having that. That's not happening. You know what I'm saying? So that's cap right there. You know, now I don't know Bishop Pete personally. You know, I know who he is. You know, and I'm not saying he's not a busy dude. He don't bust his gun, none of that. But what I'm saying is what he's talking about, what he did in Kasaki, that's like impossible. Yeah. Impossible. The whole story sounds suspect. Like he said how he told all his black friends to stay in. He told them to stay in because he knew he was about to go out there. He said he had a friend who had cut somebody and it was on him. So because they was on his friend, he almost killed his friend. He told all his black friends to stay in while he go ahead and cut every other black person on the yard. It just didn't sound right. Like if you do that, first of all, and then he said he cut somebody right in front of the police. Now, was that possible? Man, it's not going down. Let me tell you. First of all, Kasaki, I don't know what year he said this shit went down in, but I know for sure the year I was in Kasaki. You know, I was in Brooklyn, always been deep in Kasaki. You know, you got Bronx, you know, they deep, they hold weight. Brooklyn always had numbers for some reason, you know, because it's a big borough. But now, for him to say, he cut somebody in front of the police. First of all, when I was in the Chase Brothers, that had that Rainer Center, y'all hope on all them, the officers that's in front of you, they open the doors and look at that doors all around, that they were going to go in different sections, and they said, y'all to go inside the housing unit. Because like I said, it's a courtyard, they got doors all around. So you open these doors over there, take the A and B, you open these doors over there, take the B and C. Like I said, it's a courtyard, you're not going in there. Stabbing anybody. Now, you might have cut somebody, you might have cut somebody down to a skull, what you do, but you're not doing it. You're not running around stabbing no blast, stabbing or anything in that yard. And most of the people in there, in Kasaki, that's an adolescent penitentiary. And you know how adolescents get down. They was around the Micah's Island coming up. So you got all the hotheads that's in Kasaki. So most of the dudes in the jail are working already. You know, whether it's in the street, whether it's on the island, whether it's up north, because that's like so many dudes in every jail at the same time. So they too many sucking niggas in Kasaki. So but dudes, when you tell anybody, oh, I'm gonna cut all the black niggas, gonna look at you black, cut who? Right. Cut what? My cousins out there. Why can't I talk to my block? You cut them on through. You never killed them in that yard. You know what I'm saying? They would kill them in that yard. You wasn't there. How you got riots going on? When do they get the time to shackle somebody up in the yard and take them out where that yard ain't under control, everybody on the floor laying down, and you're gonna pop up and you're gonna chase somebody down that shadow? They were shackling from the top. Yeah, for sure. They would shut that whole floor down first of all before they even brought anybody out. So he wouldn't have been able to just run up and cut somebody while he was locked up, like while he was in cuffs. No, that's not happening. Yeah. They're gonna make sure they got full control before they people come in there. He's gonna have to do it on the roof because that's towers on the roof. Yeah. There ain't no towers on the roof.
See, now the sad thing about this story here, people, is that just as Wax Dog just said, right? Now we have to question all your stories. Why blemish your reputation over this one story that is already getting debunked? Over this one story, people. Now, how many more stories that you done told that people can debunk? Because now the people don't believe you. You need a plethora of more people. Boss. So it's sad, man. it's sad, man. Like when you already, you have you're a household name. You really ain't got to do nothing but sit back like a fat rat. Whether your movies was real or not, ain't nobody gonna speak on it. Now you done stuck your foot in your mouth and got this story going around on YouTube like you the Incredible Hulk. And we clearly have someone now debunking this story.
Come in there. It's gonna have to do it on the roof because that's towers on the roof. It ain't no towers on the roof. It ain't got no offices on top of the roof and all four corners that they be in. And it's not that big. So I can shoot from the roof and hit somebody dead on. So and them dudes is rifle association, clubs and all that. They've been shooting. Them white people up there been shooting. They not shooting. They not letting you burn around that yard without putting down.
Not only that, Bill. Talk about how like people be waiting to wreck and just telling everybody, nah, stay in yourself when you open up yourself for wreck.
Nah, the way that's set up, like dudes ain't locked in themselves. They waiting to go outside. They wreck. Dudes is in program all day, all the afternoons, and tell you to stay in. I can't go back and you got inside wreck one night, and then the next day you got outside wreck, and then it's like you want to stay wreck just so you good. Just because you said you ain't tell them what they told you, yo, don't worry about it, I'm gonna hold you down. Whatever the case may be. I don't want you to get into nothing, I don't want you to get shot, nothing like that. But for you to just say, yo, everybody lock in. I gotta handle something on the yard. That sounds a little far-fetched. I'm sorry. I don't give a fuck how much you got. You got a whole lot of killers that went through Kasaki.
See? So now again, another part of your story, D-Ball. Dudes are not skipping no wreck. Not the yard anyway. Because you got an issue. Let's make some sense of this. How are you? Yo, he said, I went to all my black friends, the Muslims, the guard bodies. Yo, stay in your cell. Blase, blase, blah. And now you got somebody that's been in that facility and said that never happened. Stuff alone.
You got a whole lot of killers that went through Kasaki. I was in Kasaki when Duke got two police. He got tired of the he got tired of the police oppressing him, and he popped on police. There been times in Kasaki, 90% of people think Kasaki's on go time. Even I'm put up, look at no red cafe. I can't say no red cafe. Cafe's in it. You know what I'm saying?
So that's the question that I asked, and make me look at him like a bozo, right? Because there's no way in God green earth you tell a story like that, and then now we hear this story. 90% of them inmates in there is already on go time. They are already on high alert. They already young, dumb, full of cum. And here you go, because at that time you might have been an old head. I'm sure of that. I will hope so. And you bring a story like that. So it was just that easy for you to take over the yard. And everybody just sit there and they popcorn watching you tear every black dude up. You got to remix your story. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to come back and remix that story, man. You can't just, come up here and tell that story to us like that, man, and then just keep it moving. I mean, you can't, man. You know what I'm saying? You can't. I hope you rebuttal this, because somebody's saying that you're lying. You understand what I'm saying? Somebody's saying you lying. So I'm hoping you got to rebuttal for this right here.
You know what I'm saying? If there's a bunch of dudes in there that is on go time.
What up, my boy Ray Cafe?
I don't know too much, but he's on the island. Ray Cafe was on the island. He was on March 2. I was running around the building. He's what they call it. It was Twilight Zone. They had a crew called Twilight Zone. Mainly Brooklyn dudes. Well, Ray Cafe official. But this is not about Ray Cafe. This is going back to Bishop B. Yeah. The things he said he did. I put him into work. Me and my brother cut about 15 dudes at the CNC Playgrounds back on the island.
Now it's a direct shot. Because whoever boy is, he is not getting sidetracked by no other story. He is not, by any means. Right? That gotta mean something. I'm not gonna let you get that off on my clock. gotta mean something. But check it out. Because he want to make it be known that Pistol P from KAR down with Terror Squad is capping.
Me and my brother cut about 15 dudes at the CNC breakouts back on the island. And everybody's mad witnesses, and a lot of motherfuckers knew that me and my brother put in that work. Now, I'm saying that he ain't giving up. He said he stabbed everybody in the yard. That would have made history. Everybody been talking about it. I've been in the state for years. I know a whole bunch of people in the state that still don't end up state. They would have told me some shit about that. They would have been publicized. Yo, there's people that work, they put that pain in. He stabbed 20 people in the yard, 30 people in the yard. You know what I'm saying? My son, like, he cut all the Spanish dudes in Tel He cut out 15 motherfuckers. That made history. People still talk about, like, God bless his soul, the bad. You know, he put that work on the black king, so I don't want to tell and he scratched him. Boom, he put that pain in. This is something that people say he did. Why nobody know about it? Why I didn't hear about it? Why none of my people in the five boroughs heard about something like that happening? Yeah, we from the Bronx, so we heard about it.
Why nobody never heard about this story? Fat Joe got a million stories. He's a great storyteller. He has his own platform. He tells a lot of stories. Why didn't Fat Joe tell his story? Yo, I knew my man went to the yard. Like, come on. I'm sure Fat Joe heard this story. Like, everybody else should have heard that story if that would really happen. Let him get back to it.
Yeah, we from the Bronx. We heard about it. You know, like I said, I'm not saying that he ain't put no work in or he don't get busy, but he didn't do what he did. What he said he did. He ain't put that pain in like that. He might have shot somebody, killed somebody in town. He might have cut a couple people. He did. I did hear he cut somebody. A Harlem dude, a official Harlem dude. He did cut a official Harlem dude. You know what I'm saying? That I know that he cut. But if he ever crossed paths with this dude, the dude is going to murder him. Because he ain't cut no sounds dude. He just ain't going to go back there. So, like I said, I give him his little props. He ain't no sucker, but he ain't do what he said. He ain't put that pain down in Cass like that. You know, he was tapping because he said, y'all, when I did this, you know what I'm saying? I used to see him over there about 153rd and Cortland. I used to live over there. I used to live right there on the corner. Right there in that building on the corner. He used to be right across the street. Yeah, I know my dudes over there too. Them hellbound dudes. You know, thousand fans. They know my family. They know me. You know, like I said, I'm not saying he ain't put no work in. He ain't get busy dude. But you got to come back with the stories. You know, because that's like Fat Joe saying, when Fat Joe talking about he robbed the whole jet. And then he had dudes that he robbed, holding people jackets and coats while he was in jail. Like, come on, Fat Joe. Come on, man. Stop the cat. Come on. Like, you're going too far. Yeah, you're going too far, man. You ain't got, you know, if you get busy, don't put yourself out there like you do that. Like,
so, I never heard that story. So, people, do we have? Is this personal against the Terror Squad? Like, are they the great storytellers? The Terror Squad. Yo. Oh man.
Like, what's the puncher? Like, he's the puncher. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that ain't. You know what I'm saying? Everybody know that shit ain't adding up, man. You got busy. You got into a situation with Cass. They cut your man. The man cut somebody in the past. So they cut your man in the past. He got revenge. And they got into a little scuffle. Things went down. And that was that. Police is killing people in Cass. They've been killing people in Cass for years. You know? And you see how police, they just had the situation with the other dude in Marcy. They can feel to death. So don't think you're doing what you're doing. And police ain't putting hands. They want wreck too. Just like everybody in Cass, want wreck. Hope off is a 6'6" dude. About 6 foot, about 350 pounds. And when he step on you, yeah, hope off. When he step on you, you know you got to step on. He want the wreck. And he has no girlfriend named Tweety. And she was about 90 pounds. So you're looking at a 306 dude messing with a little thing 90 pounds. You just call it Tweety. You know what I'm saying? But it was going down. They wasn't, the police wasn't jerking no break. The inmates wasn't jerking no break. And the attention was always high Cass. And Cass is a predominant black jab because all the bullshit that they doing across the street and clean. Running over the blacks house. So whenever a Spanish dude come in there, they ready to get at him. They don't care you mess with blacks or not. You Spanish. You a German. They don't give a fuck about it. You a German. You can throw all that shit that was happening across the street. So now it's get back time. So they got let the Spanish dude come up in there. They didn't know what dude. They might let you pop a little out, but you ain't got no say. They got to have to tell niggas you can't come out. But pussy nigga like, when you a German, fuck you mean I can't come out? You go shots over across the street, bring some motherfucker. You ain't got no say in this motherfucker. Not in the cat. Not in the cat. So I just racial thing. Rich, they don't got no say. Spanish dudes never had no say. Cass, they ran great. They had all the say in the world. They blast dirt over there. You come to the match, you niggas is motherfucking quiet right next to Albany. Cass, in upstate New York. Cass, they had the blast that got ran out of green. That's in fucking cat. They waiting for Spanish nigga to come in so they can get their way. They wait for the two Spanish dudes that been in that got no strength, whatever they put that niggas. They wait for the niggas to get out pop so they pop off on them. So this ain't nothing against Spanish. You got family that's Spanish. Yeah, see now when you hear the breakdown of it, right? It's sad because this type of conversation could open up old wounds. Right? This type of conversation could open up old wounds. What you mean by that, Bucks? Because someone could hear his story, right? Oh, the blacks and the Puerto Ricans was going at it and blah, 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 and blah, 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 blah. And now you talking about you done cut all the blacks and blah, blah, blah. Somebody out there, one of these young niggas trying to get a rep and just re-stir that whole situation up. Because you want to tell a bold-faced lie.
You dig? That's where I'm getting at with it. How are you okay with that? Then he got another story he done came out there with today. I seen it today. He was talking about Cuban links. He had a story on Cuban links, man. Oh yeah, Cuban links this and yeah, I had 100 niggas over here. It's like, yo, come on, man. Like, this stories are beyond comic book stories at this point. That's a fact. Beyond comic book stories. I don't know what gum you chewing. You know how they used to have the little fortune gum joints and have the little what's name, the little jaw. I don't know what gum you chewing where you getting these stories from, man. But you got to stop at 5 because nobody believes you. At all. At all. And it's sad that you even believe that story. I'm hoping you was just trolling. Yeah, I'm hoping you was just trolling, man. I'm hoping that. Just from being, you know, from the ghost, I'm hoping you was just trolling, man. I'm hoping you wasn't real, and I'm hoping that. I'm hoping that wasn't your angle. I'm word up, Wax Dog. I'm hoping he was just, you know, shooting the breeze. You know what I mean? Trying to get lit or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just hoping that because I don't know what kind of comeback can he have when you got somebody that's coming right back behind you that been in Kasaki that breaks it down line for line. Every segment of your story was broken down. No, you ain't going there telling no black dudes, listen, don't go lock out because I'm about to get busy. So we know that's not happening. Why? Because we know that when you in Kasaki, you only like that outside rec is not real. I mean, it's rare outside rec. You know, they break it down. It's not like you're going out every day. You know what I'm saying? Like, so as he broke it down, you have guys that's coming from different, programming earlier during the day. So when they get their time together in Woosah, they going outside. You go do what they do. You know what I mean? So that was debunked. He said that he took a flag and put it in the middle of the yard. That was debunked. The yard is blacktop, right? And then not only that, again, green is deep with the Kings and everything else dealing with the Latin descent, right? So guys who got ran up out of green go to Kasaki, or let's say guys who got, well, let's use that. You know, they got ran out of green. They ended up in Kasaki. So they're already going to Kasaki with a chip on their shoulder. So now when they reach Kasaki, now you have a pot of gumbo where everybody pretty much, you know what I mean, came from green, had an altercation with a Spanish dude. Right? So what you think that these dudes come over knowing already that it's lit and they just let old Pistol Pete just come over there, cut every black dude in the yard, put his flag in the middle of the yard, and nothing happens to you? That story. Hey, yo. For everybody who tuned in to that story, Y'all must have been wearing helmets and licking on windows when y'all was in school, man. I'm just being honest. It's no way from what I seen and you listen and you say, you mean to tell me not near one person in that yard not one black person in that yard didn't pop? Unbelievable. Not to add that you had dudes coming from the other jail, green, adolescent. 9 times out of 10 got ran up out of green by the Spanish people. They end up in a disciplinary jail, which is Kasaki. And here you go, a Spanish dude talking about he cut all blacks in the yard, put the flag in the middle of the yard, and did all that. Really? Hey, yo, Pistol P, nobueno.com, bite. That's bad business, bite. It's bad business, bite. Nobueno.com. Nobueno.com. But listen to how the story gets debunked.
You got family that's Spanish. You got, you know what I'm saying? I got uncle, mad family that's Spanish. I always get Bill too. We always get mistaken for being Spanish, all that. We from the Bronx. I grew up with him, you know what I'm saying? You got family and friends that's Spanish. I'm not Spanish, even though I might look it. You know what I'm saying? I'm Egyptian, but you know what I mean? I'm African, so you know what I mean? But I always get mistaken for being Spanish. We still promote behind that. You know, I went through situations with Spanish dudes, and it was like, yo, you from my hood. Like, come Spanish dudes from my hood, I tell that, whenever black and Spanish, what was going on in Allen? You know, it's like, you don't come at me, I'm coming at you. But if I get your man, you get my man. That's that way. I'm coming at you, because I know your mom, you know my mom. You know what I'm saying? We're going to see each other again. So we're going to go outside. When it comes down, so we have to understand it. Let me ask you a question. What about the people that's involved, like the tax men tap that? What do they go to the jail with? Because they were like, Fa and Mikey, God listen to Mike, God listen to her. You got to pick a team. You know, you got to pick a side. You got to pick a side. You going to mess with that. You know, he said he had a black friend that came to him forever and everything like that. So I was just wondering. The Spanish guy had people that was in the jail. They had cut him off the jail. That's what I'm saying. So like if the situation like that is, all right, I'm going to have my people, my black people. You know what I'm saying? If we're going to get you one-on-one, you're going to gun to gun, or whatever you want to do, we're home with. But this ain't going to let no riot happen. And I don't know if you know, the definition of a riot when everybody's fighting. Not just you. You might have popped off a riot when everybody's getting busy in the yard. And if everybody's getting busy, you know what I'm saying? That's blacks against Spanish. So you're not just cutting one person, you're not cutting everybody else, everybody's sitting there like sitting down. A riot means everybody's getting busy. So Pete, man, stop the cap, man. Yeah, he take a point from himself, he knocking himself down. You know what I'm saying? By saying shit like that. You put it just like Jason dude's mouth that did respect you. Now you're this clown ass nigga. You know what I'm saying? You knocking yourself down doing that. You know what I'm saying? Be yourself, be a bitch. Stand up and do what you've been doing. You ain't got to tell them these crazy stories to try to get fame and all that. Niggas know what it is. The people know what it is. Like I said, I ain't saying you a sucker, but you didn't do that. You didn't do that. You know what I'm saying? Don't discredit yourself, because now everybody's going to question the shit that you really did, as you really get busy doing. Don't put yourself with people questioning, you know what I'm saying, your integrity and how you get down. You know, you've been standing up. You know what I'm saying? So keep on standing up. You know? That story, that whole story sound outrageous. Anybody who knows what it is gonna pick that whole story apart. Jealous, there's a lot, bro. Like, you time, be jealous. You know what I'm saying? You had Tom Cruise here. You know, that's a big homie from the Bronx. You know what I'm saying? Then you sit here and let's talk right now. You had a lot of things you do. Matt Monty had my son tattoo. You had Brown Bill D. My son King Boone. You had Boone son up in it. When I was up in it, man, this ain't what you doing. We ain't gonna talk on that. It's like I said, 90% of the band was official. Shout out to my brothers that was in Cat 7 years. I was in there. My son Jerv, my son Nick B. From the Bronx. Stand up, you know. Man, the dudes, my son Ro. Shout out to all the dudes that made it through. That wasn't gladiator school, but that was a gladiator school. Adolescent match. Shout out to all my dudes that made it through there, you know what I'm saying? Stand up, you know. I'm gonna give all my peace and blessings to everybody that been through the struggle. And all I say, yo, just keep it official, you know, stay to the facts. You know?
And that's a fact. That's a fact. In that order. In that order. But Pistol Pete, you can't be coming up here, my guys, and just thinking you gonna piss on the nigga and tell the nigga it's raining. You gotta stop that. You gotta stop that. Because you gotta have official dudes looking at you like yo, listen, I'm surprised ain't nobody else come up here and just wild them up. I'm surprised at that. especially for those that was in Kasaki the time that he's talking. I'm surprised. That's a whole fact. I'm surprised no one came up here and debunked that story. It's incredible. That's a fact. But yeah, people, man, we had a dope time, man. You know what I mean? It's sad that, you know, you get these tough guys, you know, they have a little story to tell, you know, about what they do and how they do it. And they mess it all up. They stretch the story when the story is no need for it to be stretched. It is what it is. You did what you did. That was that. You know what I'm saying? But for you to make it like you're something else, no bueno.com. No bueno.com, because you ain't got to do it. You know, it's like everybody wants to have the biggest story. You know? No one is okay with saying, listen, I didn't put in no work, but I brought other things to the table. You're not hearing a lot of that. Now you're hearing more of, it's competitive movies. My story is better than yours. My movie was better than yours. I shot more people than you. I did this and I did that. But what happens when a situation like this comes about? Does this make him not credible, for one? Like, do we question majority of his stories that he have told in the past? That's two. And can he still walk around in the street and think that he just this gangster killer? Mr. I'ma cut everybody black in the yard. That's what we gotta call him, Mr. Cut Everybody Black in the Yard. Well, I want to hear something. I don't know if I've been out the loop. I don't know, but I'm gonna have to go do my research, because I don't know why the people that probably was either in that jail or was in the system when this movie supposed to have took place, they're not standing up and they're not saying nothing. Still King, salute. Hey, yo, Still King T. I don't know. He might. I think I might have to do the Bozo Award again. The Bozo of the Week Award. I might have to do that again, people. And we just might have to put him on layaway, so when I do that, he will be automatically the winner. Because I'm intrigued now. Now I want to just go back and dissecting a lot of his stories. Because now it's not safe to say, yo, you know, this and that was that and that was this, and it did not, you know, like I was. Oh, word. And don't have to worry about nobody coming behind that live to debunk his story. You know what I mean? Like that's the part that's nerve-wracking. And like, damn, are you gonna come up here and tell the truth, or you gonna lie? Let me know. Just let me know. Don't have me up here and tuned in with your story, and your story is not official. Your story not official. Now, I've been plethora of stories that you didn't came up here with and you didn't told, and I didn't hear nobody debunk it. Probably because nobody cared. just your name being your name and you okay with that says something strange. You know what I mean? It just says something strange. But, you know, again, man, appreciate everybody for pulling up, rocking out with your boy 050 Bucks, aka Mr. Shoot Right Back. You know what I mean? I definitely want to do some chronicles to this right here because we want to break down Mr. Pistol P. Representing KAR, representing Terror Squad. We got to start investigating in these stories that's being told by Mr. Cut Everything Black in the Yard. Because again, like I was saying earlier, people, this could be a situation where it could open up old wounds. You know, a lot of people walking around, you know, they ain't okay with them old beatings that they may have took, you know, when the situation was the situation. They might not be okay with that. You may have gave some people some flashbacks. You know, a possibility could start something up. You know what I mean? With that story, you could have kept that in your back pocket or kept it in the Cracker Jack box. That's a fact. But y'all ready, man. I appreciate, you know, the tune in. You understand what I'm saying? You did what? OG Bobby Johnson cut Eve. What are you talking about, man? What you talking about, OG? Hey, Bobby Johnson, what you talking about? Yeah, cut everything, yo. That's a fact. That's his new name. Word up, cut everything black. Cut everything black in the yard. Word up, cut everything black in the yard. Word, everything. Everything. Cut in the yard. Like, I don't know how nobody, I don't even know how the people that was in that jail with him even let him get that story off. That's a fact. I don't even know how they let him get that off. Word. I don't know. Like, that right there is that's mind-boggling. Word up. That's mind-boggling. But he could sit there, right, and tell a story like that and think that nobody gonna say nothing. I'm waiting to see how many more people gonna come out on that. Cause that's nasty work. That's nasty work. It's nasty, man. But, you know, again, man, make sure you hit that like button, man. Share the live. Go to the notification bell, hit all, and go subscribe. Until then, you're now rocking with your boy 050 Bucks, aka Mr. Shoot Right Back, aka Mr. Azzy. You dig? Make sure y'all support the support. It's free. And on that one, I'm out. Peace.